Title: AITA for telling my SIL I won't change my 4-month-old daughter's name for her. I gave birth to my daughter, Ember, 4 months ago. My husband and I both loved her name, and that's how it was chosen. We announced the day she was born and nobody said anything negative or gave a reason for us not to use it then. I say this because 3 days ago my SIL, who is married to my brother, sat me down and asked me to change the name because it's the name of her stillborn daughter she had with her ex-husband 7 years ago. She told me she tried to keep it quiet, but she couldn't let me keep calling my daughter Ember because it's such a painful reminder for her. She told me she really feels like we should change her name. I gently told SIL that my daughter was 4 months old and her name is on the birth certificate and it would cost us to change it, so we will not. She told me she tried so hard not to say anything, and the fact she did eventually break and bring this up should show how hard this is for her and make me more willing to change the name for her sake. I told my husband about it afterward and he felt the same way I did. He told me it seemed like a weak excuse to wait for, almost 5 months, to tell us, when she had the chance long before this. My brother found out about the conversation with his wife and he reached out and told me she mentioned it to him 2 months ago and that she was battling with asking us to change the name since, but he understands why I said no and supports the decision. Yesterday she reached out to me again and asked me if we had decided on a new name yet, and I told her my answer is still no, and she asked why and I told her she waited 4 months to tell us. She became very angry very quickly and told me if she had lost my niece my response would be different and I should see this as her losing my niece because she would have been if she were alive. She also told me my daughter is going to grow up always hearing about the cousin I gave her the same name as, and that I should reconsider before burdening my daughter with that. She told me a good person with good morals would. I should also mention I knew she had suffered a pregnancy loss, but it was implied she had a miscarriage far earlier and not a stillborn child. I never knew the name or sex. And I never ever heard her use a name for her daughter. AITA? Commenter says, she also told me my daughter is going to grow up always hearing about the cousin I gave her the same name as, and that I should reconsider before burdening my daughter with that. I mean, you had never heard the cousin's name until now, so it's not like it's something that is regularly brought up and talked about, so this argument is weak. If she wanted you to change the name, then she really should have brought it up immediately, and even then it would be at your discretion. Is it sad for her? Yes. But at this point it is unreasonable to ask you to change the name. Commenter says, NTA1. It's funny how she says that your daughter will grow up hearing about her cousin Ember, blah blah blah, when in the years you have known her, you never even heard her child's name. Although not clear, but it sounds like your brother, her husband, didn't even know about the name. 2. As someone who has had several miscarriages and has a friend who had a stillborn, I don't speak to any children, mine, nieces, nephews etc., about their cousin sibling who passed away before the baby was able to be born. Did I have to tell them that the baby didn't make it? Yes, cause they knew I was pregnant. I don't bring up my lost children. My baby nephew will be born next month. Do you think I'll be telling him about how I had lost babies who were his cousins? Nope. My friend only speaks of her stillborn son to the baby's twin sister who survived and close friends and her parents. 3. She is going to make sure to make you, your husband, and your child uncomfortable by always bringing up her lost baby and the name for. You told her you were not changing the name, yet she calls you and asks about names? She sounds delusional. 5. Your brother needs to put his foot down and demand she get some professional help. I've seen how this plays out. The woman who lost the child becomes triggered and then starts seeing someone else's baby as the one they lost, or they start displaying anger at the mom and the baby. I would not be anywhere near her until she seeks help. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty.